Hello everybody. This is the follow-up video to our class on FeelFlow. So I'll give just a very brief review of the instruction set for the technique FeelFlow, and then we'll guide a 10-minute period of practice that you can use in your daily routine. So just a quick flyby of what we've already done. Of course, the see, hear, feel is what we began with, and that is what we would consider a totally inclusive technique, where we use any and everything that our attention might notice and decide whether it's something we see, hear, or feel, and then use the noting technique with a label to acknowledge that sensory event, so to speak, whatever we notice, and then to focus in on it for a few moments, doing our best not to get caught up in it. We also covered feel rest. This is what's considered an exclusive technique. We narrow our focus range down to just some subcomponent of all of our experience. So in that case, just focus on the experience of sensation in the body, and particularly the locations of the body that feel that neutral, or that feel that there's an absence of sensation or a relaxation. So for this technique, FeelFlow, we're still focused on the feel category and letting anything we hear or see, whether it's around us or in our thoughts, to just be humming along in the background. And the particular quality of sensation in the body that you'll be focusing on is the quality of change. So just to put in a nutshell the instruction set, especially if you weren't able to come for this last week, what you'll be asked to do is let your attention be drawn to sensations in the body, and whenever you notice any sensation anywhere, however subtle or obvious, change or move or shift or grow or shrink or increase or decrease, any change at all, any dynamic movement or fluctuation or oscillation at all, is considered flow. Flow is not some special substance that is only there in special mental states or anything. Flow is the simple experience of acknowledging any type of change over any period of time. So, the heartbeat, for instance, would be a good example of FeelFlow. The breath moving in and out would be FeelFlow. So you let your attention be drawn to sensation in the body. When you notice any sensation change whatsoever, you use the label flow to acknowledge it, and then focus in, kind of watching or moving with the change that is happening in sensation in the body. And this is still a noting technique, so you're going to do that every few seconds or so. Just notice some change of sensation in the body anywhere. Or sometimes people describe it as like sometimes there are vibratory kinds of sensations that feel like they're humming, or more undulatory, wave-like, growing and shrinking. So anything that changes at all, and in sensations in the body, acknowledge it with the label flow, and then focus in on it for a few seconds, kind of watching what it does. If you feel a real challenge finding flow, go to the breath. It's always moving in and out, and those sensations are constantly changing. If you feel the heartbeat or any circulation in the body, that is a good example of flow. If your muscles relax, kind of watching them relax from more tense to less tense, that's flow. And a really interesting component of FeelFlow is that anytime your attention moves, that's considered flow also. So if I'm focusing on any tension of my forehead, and then I notice some itch or something like that in my foot, then my attention moved locations, and that movement is also considered FeelFlow. So we would label that flow and focus on it. Okay, so feel free to reach out to me if there's any unclear, any part of that that's unclear. Otherwise, let's start our 10-minute practice period here. So you can find yourself in a comfortable position and straighten your spine up and relax into the posture. You'll hear one bell to start, one bell to stop. And here we go. So if you haven't already done so, let your spine lengthen up just a little bit and let your muscles relax comfortably around the spine. Doing your best to let your shoulders align with your hips and stacking your head in a balanced way between your shoulders. And now for the next few moments, letting anything you see or hear in thoughts or around you be in the background. And just focus your attention on the sensations of the body. And when you notice any sensation change or move or fluctuate, any increase or decrease whatsoever in the body, turn your attention toward that and acknowledge it using the label flow. And then focus in on the dynamic sensations that you've noticed. Try to keep a steady pace with the labels. Noticing any change in the body or the change of location of your attention. Steadily labeling flow and then focusing in on how that change continues. Often flow is very subtle, so if you don't notice any change right away, that's okay. Just stay open to it and see if you can notice any, even very slight changes in bodily sensation. And if you're having a really hard time, you can turn your attention to your breathing. Noticing the subtle changes in the sensations that are associated with breathing. Steadily noticing and labeling with the word flow. And then following that just for a moment. Noticing the change in a detailed way without adding any commentary or following any thoughts about it. Simply noticing the quality of change in any sensations throughout the body. Do your best to be interested in the unfolding fluctuations in the body, whether you notice tingling or some feelings of vibration or any steady movement in the body. Whatever you notice that changes in your bodily sensations, steadily turn your attention toward that quality of change, labeling with the word flow, and then focusing in on it for a few seconds. You notice your attention being stolen by distractions around you or thoughts in your mind. You can gently guide your attention back to sensations in the body, and maybe notice the stretching and squeezing of your attention as it's scattered in distraction and then becomes more collected as you gather it back again. This is also flow. Do your best not to get drawn up into thoughts or commentary about what you're experiencing. Just notice the moving or shifting or changing quality of sensations in the body without any added comment or thought. Steadily labeling flow and then focusing in on it for a few seconds. Finish up in just a moment. Do your best to maintain some type of contact with the changing aspect of sensation throughout the body. Remembering it can be very subtle at times. And as you continue throughout your day, try to maintain a background practice, trying to be fascinated with the unfolding, changing quality that sensation in the body has. Okay, so hopefully this can provide you all with some steady material to use as routine daily practice. Thank you all for being a part of this course. I really have enjoyed talking with these techniques and practicing with you. Feel free to drop me a line if you have any other questions or anything about it, and have a good week's worth of practice, and I'll see you next Wednesday. If you're not able to come, that's fine. Just send me a message and I'll send you the materials. All right, have a good one.